Hello and welcome to the podcast Wide Open, a journey through human design. We are Yael and Michal. We explore, teach, and guide through human design.
We share our personal journey and process with the hope it will benefit you too. Enjoy the episode.
Hi!
Hi.
So,
So this is exciting, right?
yeah, this is very exciting because it's actually, it's not our first episode, but it's our first episode of the podcast that we do in an English version. And we do it in an English version because we have a few interviews with English speakers. So we've decided to do the podcast in English version. It makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. We're going to break our teeth in the way, speaking
Yeah.
English and trying to speak English. I think we'll get better every time we'll do it. Like everything we do, because I'm a generator, I'm supposed to go on and on until I get something right. So
Yeah.
this is the first time, and it's gonna work at the end.
So let's talk about ourselves a little bit, and then we introduce our guests, our two
Okay.
special guests.
Okay.
So you start, you go ahead.
Okay. So hi, my name is Michal. I'm a 5-1 sacral generator. I've been in the experiment of human design for the past, I think, 2.5 years. And throughout my journey, I've met Yael here. And together, I think we experiment together. That's how I can explain it, I guess. And for me, the experience through human design for the past 2.5 years really, really changed my life completely. I think like a lot of people that start with human design and get sucked into it. So we have our podcast together for the last year, and we have our magazine together for the past half a year. And this is another step on the way, doing this podcast in English, or maybe trying to get
Do this
some
podcast in
trying.
English.
Yeah, we try. I think we do
Yeah.
our best. That's the most we can do. So I think maybe that on the way we'll tell a bit more about ourselves, but for now that's enough, I guess. So how about you, my dear?
So hi, I'm Yael. I'm a 4/6 splenic projector. We actually met in a few courses that we took together, and that's how we met each other. So it's a projector generator relationship.
Yep, it's the best one.
And yeah, I think when I heard the words "wait for invitation," something changed. And yes, I totally realized how I was living in a not self experience for my whole life. And I did some spiritual work before and everything, but this was something else. And I think there's something about this human design
Do you
thing.
think? Does it work?
Yeah. I think
So
it
it works,
works.
yeah?
I
Yeah, I
think
think it works.
it works. Yeah. Um, so yeah, so we're going to talk about our experiment, our journey through human design. And for this first and special episode, we're going to invite and interview two special guests. Do you want to talk about them? To
Yeah, of course.
tell about them?
So we've interviewed Julia and Veronica, and I think there's not a lot of people that know what human design is and doesn't know Julia and Veronica, especially in the European community, community
Yeah.
of human design. So Julia and Veronica was the ones that planned and organized the Human Design Festival that was in January in Bulgaria, and I was there, and you were
And
not.
yeah, it's a different story why I wasn't there.
So when I was there, it was really in the beginning. It was quite in the beginning of our podcast. It was only like 4 months old, and our magazine didn't even exist. And still, I guess it's the 5-1 vision or something. But I really wanted to interview them. It was something I really wanted to do. So
So you
we did it.
responded. You responded and
Yeah.
invited.
Yeah, it's just how it works with us. I
Yeah.
respond, I invite, and you come, and then we do.
Yes.
That's the best kind of process that goes with us. So I think without further ado, we should go ahead and start the interview.
Yes. Okay, so enjoy your listening, and if you liked it, then we would like to hear about it and you can share it with us. We will put our
Yeah.
email address in the description of this episode, and we would like to hear what you thought about this episode.
So I'm going to ask something, and I'm going to do it like personal. I'm going to ask you personally, if you hear this, and I think it's a long shot, but if you hear this and you're from another country and you like this episode or you don't like this episode, I don't care. If you heard this episode, we would like to know it. So if you heard this, please mail us. We're going to put the mail in the description. And we want to know if this goes to anyone, or we just throw our episode in the air and no one's gonna listen. So that was like really a plea for attention from my open throat, but that's gonna work. Yeah.
Okay.
So enjoy. So hi, Julia and Veronica.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello. Hello. Hello.
So we're here to actually hear your story and to get the behind the scenes and your experience, and even to reflect to you the experience of the festival that we heard and I experienced throughout those days, which was very, very significant for myself and for a lot of other people. So first, let's. I think the first question is, how are you after 2 months? 2 months after the event.
Shall I start?
Sure, go for it.
So, when you ask a generator how,
Yeah.
and my mind goes like in it. It's been everything, it's just been this and that and whatever. But I want to start with something because we met on the festival, and thank you so much for inviting us. For us, the festival still goes on, so you're still a little bit too early. Yeah.
What's going on still? I know that you uploaded the recently you uploaded all the lectures. So what's the final touches which are still going on?
Wow. Let's start with that. We have more than 50 lectures, each 1.5 hours. Wow. We didn't see even half of them live, although we were there. We didn't see, obviously, none of the online lectures. So we still don't even know what we created in a full picture. It's amazing content, but we're also busy editing because we want to make highlights of each lecture so we can publish for the public, to be able to have a glimpse, from different people, because we really created something amazing, like in terms of global summit, because it was really people from all around the world. And actually, I was thinking today we didn't yet count the countries, which we
Wow.
should. Yeah, how many people?
Right. It's a great idea to do.
Yeah, you can like pinpoint it in the map.
Yeah, it's definitely beyond 25 or something. Seems
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
Did you think you're going to have this kind of experience before you started the festival? What was your idea before, when you just thought about it? When you planned the festival, did you imagine?
Responded or invited.
Yeah.
How
Did
did
you
it start?
imagine it's going to be like this, like till now?
If you really follow your strategy of authority and as a generator and a projector, just like what Michal says, yeah, one needs to respond, another needs to be invited. And it's actually happened like this, both, because I was a part of a creation of human design rave marathons. So those were 3 day and only online events that also a few years in a row, I was working with a lot of teachers from all over the world. And then somehow it naturally finished. And I was talking to Veronica and exactly sharing with her how much I miss all that. Because creating this event, you need to enjoy the process. Yeah. So for me, it's very important that the whole communication with teachers and with the production team and putting all the elements together. It really implies a lot of hours of focusing on the subject, so you really gotta need to love the process. And yeah, so I loved it and I missed it, and I was sharing with Veronica, and Veronica's like, hey, I know this place, you know what, you want me to check it and tell you how it could be, this and that. And then so it was kind of that, the question and the answer, and it was a very natural, this festival was created. So it wasn't even an idea. Yeah? It just was way
It was
intense.
just the
Same with
beautiful
energy.
flow of the projector and the generator. Actually,
Yeah, but it goes way back further. Like we all know about the Ibiza events with Raul Ruhu when he was alive. Those were iconic. And people indeed from around the globe met to study with him. And this tradition somehow didn't really continue until, let's say, different people tried to revive it. And one of them was Cristo Baltazar, who started it in Romania in 2019. He made the first live event, like international, and invited a lot of people. And his intention was to continue doing it live, but then the pandemic happened, and that's how Julia Krakova joined the online summit instead of the live event. And yeah, it was only natural, and people wanted it. That's the most important thing, is because each of us, Julia created a festival with Cristo International, but also she did Russia, and I did in Bulgaria festival, because human design is getting bigger around the world and in different countries. So we now have enough teachers, to have a festival, with all the topics of human design. And then people wanted it. They were like, come on, we want live events. And Julia also, actually, we were talking about, because we met in person, we were talking about it and how I was giving this idea of the online thing during the Romanian live event. And after when the pandemic started and everything went online, and Julia was like, oh, I so much want, I'm a 4037 tribal. I want life to touch, taste the aura. It's not good enough for me. Like that's how it all led to, come on, let's do the two things, you know, wine and life, because the life is the real deal. You meet in aura, but then not everybody can come, and why not connect throughout the world when we have the possibility? And that's how it became this grandiose thing, basically, with 40 plus lecturers from around the world.
So how far back does your relationship go? When did you first meet?
We
Oh,
met
in
around those
my marathon.
festivals. Can you
Oh.
imagine? Yeah, like I was there in the live thing, then Julia was in the online, and I was invited as one of the speakers, and that's how she was the host. And you know, then she came to Bulgaria, we met, and we vibed, and we really clicked. And if you look at our connectionship chart, it's like an I know nowhere to go. So it was
I'm
like,
actually looking at it right now.
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Your single
and
definition 9-0, nowhere to go.
yeah.
There's no way, no room there.
No place for anybody else. Yeah. So this is what happened. You know, she came to my house, my daughter, my husband. We had a volunteer. Like I spent all my time with Julia in like a bubble. Nobody else was there existing at all. She
That's
also left her
exactly what it
Pepe.
was.
It's actually very felt when I've met you. It's very you can feel it. The 9-0 relationship. It's very you can totally feel it. It's like there's no room for you here. You can be here, you cannot be here, but
Doesn't
there's
matter.
no room here. That's the feeling you get, and it's crazy how it's all energy. There's nothing personal there, you know. It's it's only you with your stories in your head, but there's nothing personal in this. It's only the mechanics. So you clicked right from the first from the get-go.
And in what point did you decide that you want to be partners? Like how did you get there?
Yeah, we didn't decide nothing, you know. We just had like a random chat, and no, actually, it wasn't random chat. Is Veronica invited me to her to talk to her basically and record and put it this kind of an interview on YouTube, because that's another project that Veronica was doing. Interviewing different human design analysts, and we had this interview, and then we kind of kept talking, and then basically the dialogue that I mentioned before happened, and then Veronica went to check the place, and she said, and then we talked, you know, do we really like want to do it? And then a name came, and so it was very natural. So yeah.
Along the way, I got a kick from a manifester woman saying, why don't you find people who you resonate with to create something together? Because I wanted to be with her, to do something together with her. And she's like, no, you know, go find your fractal or something. Yeah, you know, it was from different things. People were wanting the festival, this woman like this, Julia and I talking. Also this guy that we mentioned along the way. So it was a whole process. Yeah.
How long have you been planning it, or before the actual festival?
Oh my God. Actually, it's a year.
Wow.
Yeah. I was looking at it, and on the 23rd of February, I went to see the place, the first place, because we had to change the place 2 months before the event.
It was supposed to be in another, not in the same place it was, the original?
Yeah, it was in a totally different venue.
Wow. Speaking human design, how is it for you throughout the way? It was a long process, of course, to work together with, Julia is a emotional projector. You're a sacral generator. The rhythms may be different and the communication may be different. So how was your relationship throughout the way doing this?
For me personally, with Julia, it goes very smooth and easy, and it's a no-brainer. And like, she has an idea and I have an idea, and we build on top of each other's ideas. And sometimes we don't like each other's ideas, and then we're kind of open for the other to still do if they really want or not, or we're quite open, and maybe that makes it easier. Actually, with generator and projector relationship, I really see how important it is to do spend this time together. And of course, there are lots of differences. Like, for instance, Julia really likes to work with somebody, and I'm like, I rather discuss it, and then I need to be by myself and concentrating what I'm doing and do it by myself. And if I have somebody talking to me, I'm not doing it. And also that's a huge difference also I see is that, and that's not only projector generator, but I see it also in other companies and stuff. A lot of people, when you talk a lot, that takes energy, and then you have the idea that you did a lot of work, but actually you did a lot of talking, not a lot of work. So, both of us, we're open throats, so we have the tendency to talk and get personal. So we get to work, and then it becomes personal, and then we tell this story about that, and then we connect it with this, and then it can become 5 hours, during which we did work, so very productive on the idea side and on but then, and 3 hours on top was just chit-chatting and spending time with
It
each other.
actually reminds me of our relationship, me
Yeah, I
and
also
Yael.
wanted to say, like, I can really resonate with everything that you both said, because we also have a projector generator relationship. It's like, it's really a beautiful flow, like Julia said. It really is.
Yeah, it is. It's the same thing. We do like on the calendar, like 2 hours we schedule
yeah.
something, and then half an hour we do the work we need to do, and then talk way after the time is supposed to be finished, So maybe can you share with us how you even each one of you, how you even entered human design? How did you got to know this knowledge and your beginner's story, would you like to share it?
Julia, you want to go first?
Yeah, why not? For me, human design came to my life, or I got to hear it step by step. First time it was in 2003, and I just heard a name. I just heard a name. Um, a friend was talking about another friend, and she says, "You know what? He got into some kind of a thing. It's called human design, and he's really into it." And she didn't know to explain. And I remember the first thought that I got when I heard it was like, human design, like, who the fuck will dare like to call the knowledge or whatever it is, yeah, human design? Like, they know how the humans are designed or something. And it was a really strong thought. And I came home and I tried to find something about it, but there was nothing. So I was kind of like, okay, whatever. And then in 2012, I received the first reading. I lived in the community where a lot of people were passing by, and every person were claiming to be a master and a healer and all of that. So one of them was saying that she does these readings, and then I remembered where I heard it before very much. And at that time, I didn't really know my time of birth. So she said, well, it's okay. They tell in the school if you don't have time, put 12 p.m. or something. And she didn't check, not plus, minus. And I'm a generator at 12, so she gave me a reading. So I'm a generator. And it just like, okay, whatever. She told me something, I was there, and I moved on. So that's basically what it was. It's I don't even remember what she was saying there, because everything that went in exactly went out. And 1 year later, I met a friend who was like my old friend, like childhood friend, you can say. And she was traveling last year, and she says, oh, wow, I started studying this thing. It's so incredible. And she gave me also very basic reading, but she said the key words, wait for invitation. And it was like absolutely crazy experience, because hearing that was an actual experience for me. It's like my whole life run in front of my eyes, and I really see that everything that ever big things that happened to me, they were all result of invitation. So I knew what it is living life and waiting for invitation without waiting, because waiting is not like something that you're consciously doing. And it's a state of being. The waiting is being, yeah, in this sense. And from then I just started digging here and there. And suddenly everybody asks me for a reading, and I say, why? And they say, I don't know, you talk about it all the time. So I decided to take a course, and then another course, and then 10 years later, I'm still taking courses and teaching courses and working with it in many different fields. And yeah, the festival is just one of.
I love that you said, like in English, it really sounds different. I love the way you said it, that waiting is being. And I think it's really, it's like a small, it's a nuance, but most of the projectors, when they just find out they are projectors, they don't know how to be, how to just be. And I think it's amazing, this sentence.
Thanks for recognition.
Thank you.
So do you want to share, Veronica, how you got into?
Yeah, so for me, human design came first through several sources, but my best friend told me about it, and to me it sounded like just another astrological tool. So I didn't pay any attention to it, and I was a very entrepreneurial type of person, working in a corporation, totally serious in life and the whole thing. And for me, this was just jibbla jabla, you know. And later, when I actually, it coincided with me giving birth in 2010. So there was a lot of change happening at the same time. But what happened is we had to go to Holland with my family to help with my mother-in-law as she was sick. And we went there, and there I met the girlfriend of a friend of mine. Actually, I knew about her 2 years before we went, and I already was like, now I know I had this response of meeting her, and I really wanted to meet her. I don't know why. But there I got my chance to meet her. And then when I saw that woman, it was such an experience. I'll never forget how I saw this person in the room, sitting there, and when those eyes looked at me, she looked so strong, so composed, that immediately, and imagine I'm a person who studied and worked in a company. I was managing more than 30 people, and I studied like marketing and international relations. So interested in psychology and people and relations. And I also worked as an HR for some time. I did a lot of things, and this surprised me. Now I know that what was looking at me was the aware passenger, the awakened passenger who is just really centered in itself, really authentic. And that was giving this real grounding, which to me looked like strength. But then my mind interpreted it like, oh, this woman is dodgy. This woman is definitely doing something like black magic or some other tarot maro or all these other things. She's doing something which she's pulling strength from. That's how I was. Yeah. And then we went for a walk and we met, and suddenly, imagine, for me, astrology was just some jabla jabla. So, but then the first question I asked her was like, what is your star sign? Just to keep some conversation going. I couldn't even believe it was coming out of my mouth. And she said, yeah, well, that's my star sign. But actually, there is this something new that I came upon, which is like so much more precise, and I'm not interested in astrology at all anymore. And I was like, so what's that? And she's like, well, it's very visual. So I will show you when we get home. After she said those words, I couldn't anymore be on the walk. And it was a nice beach walk with swings and with my baby daughter and eating ice cream. It was really, really nice. I couldn't pay attention to anything else. It was like, oh, I really wanted to go. So we went and she showed it to me, and that was it. It was so crazy because imagine I'm a 5-1 sacred generator with an open throat, being all over the place, communicating with everybody, having 1,000 or 2,000, 3,000 friends, active connections that you're keeping up and the whole thing. And I met human design and I shut up. I literally shut up, and everything changed. Of course, at the same time, I had my baby. So, I cannot really say because you lose connection with people who don't have children. And I had the possibility to move to the countryside. So there were a lot of changes in my life in total. But I think that human design was the biggest life changer before and after. And that same best friend who was telling me about human design before, and she was like, it's amazing what a change happened. And if you want to know what she thought the change was in me,
Yeah.
she said you became so much more relaxed, and the guilt trip was over for you, because I was constantly blaming her. And then I found out that later my motivation was guilt. But anyway, I was like, when I was keeping this huge network of people. And when somebody wouldn't keep in contact for too long, and I would be like, and why you don't contact me and this, and then suddenly I shut up. Suddenly I stopped looking for anybody. And I completely, all those friends I had, they turned into mere acquaintances. And it was a huge, huge change for me. But apparently, I could get my life back, because I don't know how long I would have survived. Hence, I continued this roller coaster of a life I had. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Actually, when both of you spoke your story, it really, it's amazing how it resonates with our story, because I also came from a background of working in companies and being like, I didn't have any connection with the spiritual world or astrology or whatever, or nothing. And human design, it did came from in a point that I started working on myself, like self-reflection and self-development 5 years before, but not in any anything related to the stars, let's say it like this. And Yael came from yoga and came from all kinds of I don't know, she'll say it because I don't even.
I've been around.
Yeah, she's been around.
In what way?
And that's amazing, because I think that's something I recognized about you too when I met you. This I don't know, maybe it looked familiar or something for me to meet you there and see how you interact and how you are with each other, and that's really that's weird and nice to find out. So I think that I don't know what you tried, or did you even think about you're going to do in the festival, but I think that for me, and I guess there are some people who will relate to that also, but for me it was the experience of stepping in a place where you don't need to have any masks on to be the only thing you're expected to be. I'm a 5, expectation is a main issue, but the only thing you're expected to be is yourself and nothing else. And did you feel like that? Did you hear this from people? Did you even think you're going to do this to people that came there? Because it's a really big thing, I think.
Actually, that was the main feedback we heard from participants. I had a lot of people already from the first day who started coming to me, and I don't know these people, and they came and they were like, "Thank you for doing that. We feel amazing here." And so, when you say the main thing for the festival that people could be without masks, I don't know whether we should say that the festival did it, or it was the people yearning to be without the mask. And it was a safe place that they could be. And that's something that we intended. We intended to have a safe place from all the craziness in the world, and to really experiment and try out in a safe environment with like-minded individuals.
Wow. Okay, so I know for sure if you're going to do another one, then I'm gonna come.
I told her that I'm gonna pack her in my suitcase if she won't, because there's no other way that she won't be there with me. I spent all the days speaking about her, and at the end of each day we spoke, and I was like, you don't know how many people I'm telling about you, and you should come, and how did you miss it? And
why you didn't come, Yael? Why did you choose not to come?
I had no, like I had a splenic no, and I think now when I in retrospective, I think it was because of my daughter, actually, because I felt maybe that I couldn't leave her, and she is an open spleen, so maybe I just wanted to, maybe my spleen wanted to stay there and protect. So yeah, 8 days was too much for me, I guess. But yeah, next time I'm coming next.
That's
And what would have been
yeah.
better? What would have been better as a length in your in your perspective?
For me, maybe 3 days, 4 days, but I don't know if you can do something like that in 3 days. I don't think it's possible because there were so many lectures. So yeah, I don't know.
Well, everything is possible, and that's why Veronica is asking, because honestly, yeah, we also by the end, yeah, especially Projector is talking, that it's been work. Yeah, for sure, it's been work to be present and actively present for all the days. So definitely, next time we would do something like 4 and maximum 5 days, but like maybe first and the last day, take it easy, just like on half a day later, or something like that.
Or combine it with a holiday, like
Yeah.
actually somebody had the idea that we have, for instance, in the middle, one day with nothing. So that people can either relax or just hang around and integrate or whatever. So it's, on one hand, some people really like the intensity, but maybe actually that's why we had so many cycles thinking, 6 days. Oh, that's nicely a lot. And then they came and they're like, by the 6th day, totally exhausted. But actually, it was how it happened, girls. It was gonna be 4 days or something like that. We were thinking of a long weekend, and it was supposed to be in October.
Okay.
And then because we started in February planning it already, so at the beginning you have a lot of time, and you're like, oh, we have so much time. But then, this and that and whatever, and suddenly it was summer, and then everybody was gone and nobody was answering our emails for 2 months, We're sending these invitations to people and nobody is responding. Like, no, some people are responding, but
No, yeah. I mean, we had more than half, but still there were many that we wanted to make sure that just were not ready, or they were answering, but they were not ready to commit to such dates because of different reasons. So it was all natural process. And then we had another partner, Christo, and then he kind of started with us, but then process took him to another direction, and we were also not making a lot of important decisions because of that, because there was no clarity about our penta. And then we invited one more person instead of Christo, the producer. And so there were 3 of us, Yeal and Julia, that you met online.
But the thing is that we pushed it to January because we were like, okay, we don't have now more time for October, so let's push it. New Year, rave New Year, that's a good idea. Let's do a rave New Year. But it's actually in Wednesday. So how do we do it on Wednesday? Let's start on Friday. Something like that, So that's how it became 6 days. It was not planned like, let's do it 6 days. It just, we were looking at dates and this and that, and somehow it became those 6 days. First, we were thinking even 5, but then we thought, but then it's because we thought it's the 21st of January, but then we saw it's exactly the 22nd of January. New Year in the afternoon, so we had to extend it, and that's how it became 6 days. And also, what we totally didn't think about is that it started on the 60th gate, line 1.
So it wasn't planned ahead,
No,
because I was sure it was planned ahead to be
absolutely
on the
not.
60th gate, on the first line, going on all the lines, and then finishing up on the new rave year. And it felt so planned.
It was really in the flow, and the flow planned it for us. So that's how it happened. Yeah. Yeah. It was a very heavy energy, and
yeah.
That was really interesting to notice and to see how, like, we had these challenges and how we were dealing with them. And yeah, it was so interesting. So interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, as I was saying before, that what's the most important is that you really enjoy and learn and feel fulfilled with the process. Because it's as Veronica said, the beginning was in February, like energetically, because she went to look for a space with the intention of festival. But the main work has been done starting approximately October. So these periods is really like what Veronica was saying before, yeah, sitting in front of computer and talking and meeting 5 hours, 6 hours, and then in these months, I think we saw each other much more than we saw our own husbands. It's like it was already very intense.
Yeah, and also for the experience, for Veronica is a full collective experience channels, and you, Julia, with your collective channel. It's the process, the experience is very important. So Veronica actually said something, and it popped a question for Julia in my head. It's something I thought about throughout the festival. Julia, you're a projector, even though you have a lot of engines in your chart, but how was the experience for you as a projector? Because I saw you throughout the festival. You worked very hard. You both worked very hard, of course, yeah, but how was the non-sacral experience for you?
Yeah, I was active, and basically I was opening because Veronica lived relatively far from the venue, and I stayed in the venue. It was a hotel, so I was opening the doors and closing them, and every day. And I have a very supportive background for this project, because also I lived in the community with many people for many years, 10 years to be precise, in this. And I mean, I really know how how to sustain myself correctly in terms of diet, for example. I almost never eat during the festival, and I'm nocturnal, so I'll just eat something light before going to sleep, and all day drink tea and cacao and coconut water, and very basic, but it for me means a lot. And having a short session, maybe 5 minute session, because there is no time, of yoga or just stretch in the morning. And the frustrating part was that I couldn't spend enough time one-on-one with people. So that's a projector part that really felt I was missing out. So during the whole 6 days festival, basically I had dinner once with one of the teachers, with Michal, and I talked to few participants for maybe 5 minutes maximum. With two participants, I think it was 20 minutes, longest, and a couple more teachers also. But literally, for me, the longest one-on-one time was maybe half an hour with a being, and also not much. So that was something projector, yeah, that I would love to definitely have more. And in terms of energy, it feels when you get the conditioning and you're aware of this conditioning and you know how to use it and you know when enough is enough and to step out of the aura sometimes for 5-10 minutes, couple times a day, and recharge and do the shower in between. It's more than enough. I do not treat myself as this poor projector, no energy, and I have to, open, close. This is not gonna take me anywhere. So I'm not playing these games, I'm a poor projector, and in terms of this, even though, yeah, obviously physically it's hard. I mean, I was working in terms of presence and being, and cannot even consider it work, but just being there in the festival, and so more generators like needing rest. And yeah,
I guess
the
the
part.
once you respect your energy, then you can well use it.
Others respect it, I guess. When you respect your energy, then other people respect your energy. And sorry for completing your sentence, but I had to say it.
Yeah, definitely.
No, I didn't have a question. I just I liked it. I liked how you took the power back, like no, I'm not a poor projector who's like, oh no, I don't want to work. No, don't do this to me. La la la. And you just, okay, no, I know what to do. I know my energy. I can reconnect with myself and everything is fine. Like, we're in a physical life. We're in a physical body. We need to understand how to do it properly.
It's like being the mother of the bride in a wedding, that you don't enjoy it. You know, you have this event, this amazing event, you plan it, you work for it, you dress up, you clean nice, and then you just go around and it's all over, and like, oh, what? I haven't met anyone, I haven't talked to anyone.
Yeah.
What? It's over, but so it's natural, but it's also you want to enjoy, but you can't because it's yours. So it
So
feels
funny
like
you're saying this because I just came back from India, where I've been also invited in to the wedding, and that's exactly what I saw. The mother, on the one hand, she was changing dresses 3 times a day, and it was several day Indian wedding with all the investments, serious investments in it, and so every day changing saris, all the gold and this, and but she didn't shine at all because she was all the time busy talking to this, talking to that, disappearing, coming back. And I was like, wow, that's so weird. Why is she like that? And now basically you're telling me I was like that just a few days before I went there, because it did. That's how we felt. We both felt it. And what Veronica was saying about the recordings is, for me, this festival is like a completely fragmented entity, because I was present in the lectures in Sofia, Bulgaria, for 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, and then somebody calling, and I need to say this and call to that. And we had a online festival running in a parallel, so it was a lot to do with streaming and making sure, and cameras and mics and Zoom and people and
crazy
links
production.
and
Crazy
yeah.
production.
So yeah, all of that was also part of the process.
So how was it for you, Veronica, during the days of the festival? Do you share the experience of Mother of the Bride?
Yeah, in a way, yeah. Actually, I was really expecting that I'm gonna have fun, like preparing everything, and then you go and you're like just enjoying everything. And I think it must be possible if we plan it a little bit better next time. But it didn't happen like that. Heard this question, how are you today, Veronica? Like exactly how you started. And that really puts my mind into like different directions. It was amazing. It was amazing experience because first of all, and the most important was the meeting in Aura with people. That's so different because I'm living away from the city. I don't meet a lot of people. And that for me by itself was a huge bang into huge wow energy. On one hand. On the other hand, what really pumped me up was indeed this satisfaction and um, kind of excitement in everybody there. So of course I was by myself very excited. And it was amazing. The first thing I remember thinking getting into the venue was meeting Julia. And then I was like, wow, it was like we were together yesterday, physically. That's how I felt, like totally not new, because we were talking so much online that I was thinking I don't feel any difference in meeting her live now. It's like,
She's been there all the time.
yeah. But then all the others, which I never met, of course, live, it was so interesting because all the volunteers we met online, but when people come, and especially the only thing you cannot imagine, how tall are they? You know, it's always surprising whether they're too tall or too short, but it's always surprising for me. And that really was very interesting to see. And then I'm telling you all this amazing feedback. And for me, it's so nice because I don't know these people, you know, it's perfect. I can be anybody I want, you know. So I was having a lot of fun with that too. And also meeting the teachers for me was very strong experience. I met some of them on the airport, so we had the real aura in aura one-on-one experience, and all by itself was like a separate movie. And yeah, also meeting some volunteers. It was, the life experience cannot be replicated. It's amazingly nice, those lectures we did and all the information, because actually, guys, the richness of this festival is you go and in one stop shop, you get everything. Like every topic in human design, we covered. One or two not. Left it for the next time. But you could, because human design is so vast, so big, and expensive to study, this festival really gave the possibility for everybody to have a taste, but not only from the different topics of the festival, the different way the information was presented from the different people, the different way people are living it. You can see uniqueness walking around you, and that's so precious. It was just, you know, to energetically rub yourself to the others. This was the magic for me. Of course, it's a experience, so it's, you lose your individuality in a way, and yet, because you could be the freak you are, you know, as you noticed, and everybody noticed in every corner, do your dance or cry or haha, or you know, the whole palette of feelings and emotions and sudden insights and epiphanies and enigmas, and you know, because we saw everything, we really saw the duality of everything, and all in all, that was overwhelming, powerful, and it had everything in it. I laughed, I cried, I felt super proud. Then I felt like I'm not gonna do a good job on my lecture or this or that. It was like everything, life in a very intense setting.
It's
So,
like Ra said, it's all about the binary.
yeah.
It's like that. I also had like I think the second or the third day I had the day I everything got emotional for me, and I'm an open solar without any gates, so it was and I didn't feel it was a wave, it was something within me, it's something that needed to go to come out. It just, I had a day that I couldn't stop crying. I don't even know, I don't think I know even why. I don't know the why. It doesn't really
You had
matter,
this
but
space. You just
yeah, it was something that my body just went through, and it was very, very overwhelming. All this energy and all these people, and something just, every time it needed to come out, and I immediately start crying. Every time I go through something that's in my body, I start crying. It's crazy. So it was, I know my body went through something. I I don't know if I know what it is, and I don't know if I will know what it is. I don't think that it matters exactly what, but
It's only natural when you're in a group, because you get connected, everything in you gets connected. So anything that was stuck has the chance to get unstuck, or everything that was unstuck can get stuck, you know?
yeah.
depends on how you look at it.
So besides maybe the days, the length of the festival, would you have done anything else different?
Everything.
We make so many mistakes. It's unbelievable. It's like...
Everything would be different. Well, not everything. The spirit was great of the festival, and we would definitely have a lot of teachers coming back because they were amazing and people loved them. And the entertainment also was absolutely amazing. And it's so important, by the way, to have a really good quality, juicy evening program because after going through so much human design frequency, you really want to also relax. And yeah, that part was great, important. But in the topic of how we would restructure and reorganize, and wow, it's endless, really endless. Veronica, you want to add here?
Yeah, first of all, I think we kind of didn't know when to stop, when enough is enough. Like, I think we made it too big. Like, yeah, and that said, our power wasn't enough. It was definitely, guys, the truth is that we died after the festival. Like, we were so tired. Like, it went really wrong at the end. We were completely kaput, like totally drained, and apparently that's not the way it should be. So we have
What
to...
added also, sorry to interrupt you, but I just want to add here, yeah, that we also got sick. Somehow it was exactly a wave of virus in Bulgaria, and many people got sick
Yeah.
in the end. And it was also kind of a harsh transition because of the flights, and or some people had to extend for a few days. And yeah, and myself included also went through hard one. So it was like really heavy landing, and then yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of people got sick after the festival, and I actually prefer the more not exact reason. No, it's not a virus, you know, it's the experience. I think it's better to think about it. It's the
Mutation.
experience. That's the reason that everyone got sick, and I don't need any earthly reasons, you know.
No, but dear, sickness, what is sickness? Sickness is a process. Health is only a momentary state. You're healthy only here and now. In the next moment, you sneeze.
Yeah.
You know, in the next moment, there is a virus. Like, health is only here and now. So it was a process. And all of us getting sick, or like 90% of the people getting sick, of course, you can come with all the logical explanations, and we were in the same room, of course, apparently for so many days and so on. But everybody's body went through some process, and this was kind of the finishing touch to really shake you off with everything. To me, that was the experience, and that's what I heard was similar for a lot of participants and teachers, and yeah.
Yeah, I prefer this explanation.
Yeah, but they're connected, so
Of course, everything is connected.
If
you
I
know.
might add a suggestion to next year, if you want, you can do your next festival in Israel, and it's a really calm and relaxed
Yeah, it's the
place.
most relaxed place
Nothing
on earth.
happens here, so
Nothing,
if you
nothing.
want, then you can do
We
it.
have a dull life, you know. On the news, there's a dog like stuck on the tree, and then that's what we talk about here. Nothing else. We need some human design here.
And that's very much what starts happening now all over the world, as we know by human design. Mutation really touches every meter and centimeter neutrino space on the planet. So what's happening now in Israel and Palestine, and in Ukraine, Russia, and China, Taiwan, within South America, within
South America,
Africa
yeah.
now is like you hear country after country, armies are taking over. Haiti, you know what happens in Haiti now is like there are corpses on the streets and no one takes care of that. And what we are doing with the human design is exactly learning how to deal with all of that and stay who you are, and not to be conditioned, with all of that. And conditioning is so strong, and it gets into our chemistry. I mean, with all the modern devices and everything. So bringing the awareness of it in every possible form, space, and time unit is the work.
More and more people, I hope, starting to get to know human design, and we do what we can, and everyone does what they can to have more people meet this knowledge, because it is the most exact thing I've ever experienced in my life. And both of us, me and Yeal, we're like babies when you talk about human design, because we've been only in human design only 2 years, and it's a really short period. But I can testify on myself that the change I've had in myself for even half a year, it's crazy. It's crazy, like getting to know, having like insights, and in Hebrew there's like falling a simonim, they fall on my head,
Realizations.
yeah, and like every center at a time, every that you connect a little bit more and a little bit more, and like, oh, it works. Oh, that's how it goes. Oh, that's what happens when I shut up and I don't talk. Like stuff happens when I don't use my open throat and talk all the time. I can do it and it works. That's the, I think that's the magic. It's not magic, it's mechanics, but of understanding human design. I wish more and more people would get into it and follow their strategy and respect others, and respect themselves, first of all. That's the most important thing you can do. So I think before we finish up, I think there's a lot of people who want to ask, will there be another Human Design Festival?
I just wanted to add to what you said before, that this is one of the reasons we wanted to do the festival. We see the participants as messengers, because we knew those people will come and then they will spread the seed. So, and that's so important nowadays in the communities, and with this kind of disintegrating support system, that we have people who are prepared and they know what's happening. So can be support systems.
Yeah.
And to your question, I do have a response, and I've been asked this question already maybe 10 times from different people. And yet we still didn't finish this project. So we need to kind of wrap it up, and before we're even open to consider other possibilities. And honestly, I would love to see the festival replicate all over the world. And it would be so lovely if we can be, this year here and that year there, and cannot wait to see it happen. So yeah, that's my...
Yeah, what you have witnessed is 53, 42 in action.
When you start the cycle first. We need to finish up first the process.
Then to take time to integrate. And only then.
Yeah. I hope it won't take 7 years. I hope it would be before that. So
Yeah, this year's time runs faster. So.
I think that what you said, Veronica, about spreading out, it's like it's main part of the reason that we do the magazine and we do the podcast and we talk about it and like do lectures and do workshops and just to have more and more people getting to know it. And our magazine is actually addressed and the podcast is actually addressed to people who doesn't know human design. And we always try to ground it, to put it in simple words, in simple experiences, so more and more people can connect and not have this barrier of this is like too spiritual for me, this is mystical, and this is, and it's pure mechanics. It's really pure mechanics. And once more and more people will get it more simply and more in everyday words, everyday experiences, and see the difference it does in your life, that's when, you know, my five will be happy to spread out, to have more people. I think that's part of the reason why I really wanted to do an English version of the magazine, even if it's a special edition, to have it spread out even wider and wider. And yeah, and Yael, do you have anything to add?
And I'm 4'6". I just want to be friends. I'm not into spreading. I'm just yeah, so
Yeah, that's so great that we are actually doing same thing. Yeah, we are doing same thing and bringing the content in different variations and forms, because there's so much content out there. And when you really get to know the knowledge, you start realizing the difference in the frequency and energy, and it's important to bring a good quality content. Yeah, that's what we did at the festival when we really worked with teachers from International Human Design School. Yeah, there was a part of us that was very much, we were thinking, yeah, but there's other people and who doing great job, but in the end there was a decision to do that and to really bring, you know,
Human design international teachers.
yeah, certified with the school.
Mm-hmm.
But also what you're doing is you're really selecting the materials and bringing the best possible in a very solid form. But also you sent me the journal. I still didn't read it, but it looks so solid and so well invested visually. Even it's
That's
beautiful.
Yael.
I really love your designs. Really love your designs.
That's Yael's talent, designing
Wow.
the magazine and doing great work. And well, we've been also certified by as an LYD guide. So you know, when you start looking for the teachers for the next time, I have this research of my own with a special topic, then I can share with you. Maybe I'll share it in the English magazine, and then you'll see it.
Great. Yeah, sure.
But so Yael, do you have anything to add up before we finish up?
I had a really good time meeting you, and Julia, I feel like I already know you because I heard about you. I heard about both of you so much. Then it was better in reality, you know. Really fun.
Amazing.
I
And
hope
let's
we get
hope
to
this
meet.
happens. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I hope,
Exactly.
and yeah, thank you for talking to us.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us and sharing this time with us and sharing your story and your experiences. And do you have maybe anything else to add up?
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting us.
Mhm.
It was a pleasure to meet and to actually, it was also very nice for me, especially to reflect back, but when you're asked, like, and in human design environment. So it was really a pleasure to kind of, for myself, while I'm talking to you, to kind of put things in perspective for myself as well. But I have a question, because you already mentioned about that you want to call Julia and myself for this interview because of your specific interest in the projector-generator relationship. So I would like to hear a few words about your relationship with the projector, with Yeal, and from both of you, just a few words, because it's interesting how your dance goes.
Thank you for asking. Yeal, do you want to go? Do you want to start?
So I met Michal when we did LYD. It wasn't a love from first sight.
No.
Yeah, because I was shocked from the realization that I'm a projector, and I think for the first year I didn't talk to anyone. I shut up, and I didn't want any generator to be close, to be near me. I like, no, this is my, I'm a holy, like, don't touch my energy, don't you know. And yeah, and after a while we met again, and I was more sane. Like I wasn't psychotic
He was
anymore.
more receptive, let's say.
Yeah.
Like that. I first thought she was a bitch. I'm sorry to say it, but
everyone
that's true.
thinks that at first. That's okay. And yeah, and then we met again, and I asked her for some raw materials, and we started to talk and everything, and yeah, and we started, like you guys, like we started to talk, and we didn't finish. Like we didn't finish talking. We were like talking and talking and talking, and we were like, okay, we need to open a podcast because we need to do something practical with this.
Practical about it.
Yeah. And then we started the podcast. The rest is history. Like we really, I feel like she is such a generator. I'm sorry. Like she's such a sacral generator. And she's working it. She's working it, and
Aww.
it gives me the opportunity to just relax, you know? Like I can be me, I can relax. Like she's responding, she's inviting me. I decide if to take the invitation or not. And like it's a cute I don't know, like
a cute relationship.
Yeah, like ping pong. I don't know if you like, it's a cute projector generator ping pong thing. Yeah, I don't know. I like it. I like generators.
So much understand you. I love generators so much.
Yeah.
I think that for me, first of all, I adore projectors because my first year in human design, it's like projectors everywhere. And I have a son projector. My oldest is a projector. Actually, I saw in your chart, Veronica, that you have 11th one lines. He has 12 in his chart. And I really you know, it's a really special energy. I'm a one, I know. So actually I adore projectors, and my first year, it was like every projector I meet, it's like, okay, say what you see. Tell me your insight. I want to hear. I want to see how. I want to hear what you see. And with Yeal, it was first, as I said, the first time we met, it was like, what? No. I didn't even talk to her, and nothing, no communication. And as she said, like, we started the podcast, and the magazine was like I had an invitation writing in a different magazine about I wrote about human design, and I was like, do you know these thoughts that you have in your shower? It's like, so it was like a shower thought. I was like, I want my own magazine. It's like, I'm writing I want my own, and I sent her a message like 2 a.m. or something like that. Like, yeah, I want a magazine. Do you want to do a magazine with me? And she doesn't even understand, because she's a split and I'm a single. So she doesn't even understand what I'm saying or what I see in my head. And I think that the most challenging for me in the first few months of our relationship, because we haven't met so long ago, we've met only a year ago. It was understanding our rhythm, our different rhythms, our different energy spiking, because she gets to sleep, she goes to sleep early, and I can go on. And we're like talking, and then she goes like, okay, I'm tired now. I'm finished now. I can't do this anymore. And I'm like, I stay with my frustration at the beginning, and now I know her rhythm better, so I know when to address her and when to finish, to stop, and when to say, oh, but we scheduled this. Are you sure? And she's like, I don't know. We'll try. If it won't go, we'll stop in the middle or something. And I'm okay. Because I think that's the main word is respect, is just to respect each other's authority and energy, and just when I know how to address her, then, and she knows how to address me and ask me back, do you want to? And I can go, or whatever.
Yes, I'm
That's the
working on
magic.
my yes or no questioning.
Yeah, she's working on it. I've asked her so many times, talk, please, yes and no, please, and reflect back. If I say something, I want to do something, reflect back on me. Do you want to do it? Because I need to be checked. It's not, don't take it like I said it. So what if I said it? It's like, so I think that I really like the fact that we're both open solar, and then the immediateness of the stuff we say we do. It's like the podcast was like, let's do a podcast. Okay, 3 weeks later we have a podcast. And the magazine, let's do a magazine. 1 month later we have a magazine. Everything is so immediate. It's so thank you so much for asking that. I think we'll finish up.
Yeah.
And I think we'll say really I enjoyed this so much. I was very nervous before we started and very excited before we started, and because really you're our main interview. And when I was in the Human Design Festival and I wrote Yeal, I was like, I want to interview them for the magazine. What do you say? And it was before the first issue even. And I want to. And I was like, I approached Julia in a little bit of I was afraid a little bit. And and so I don't even remember which one of you I approached first, actually. Either Julia, right? I talked to you.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you talked to me first time
Yeah.
actually in the festival.
Yeah,
And then
I
you
did.
kind of touched the ground.
Yeah.
And then we talked in messages. And,
Yeah.
I asked Veronica.
And so really, thank you for making my small dream come true in the festival, and being here, and sharing us all your wisdom. So thank you, I guess. Wow, I had so much fun.
Right. And then we can also share it in our community with the festival. And I guess people will be very happy to know that it's still the initiatives are happening and everybody is, not everybody, but whoever feels a call, keep spreading this knowledge. And in the end, that's what we're here for, and to go deeper in our own experiments and to share all of that with the world. Because that's our life, that's our language, that's what we all do on a daily basis in one way or another, either teaching or experimenting and just writing about it or sharing about it with friends or online, teaching courses, giving readings. It's all the nuances, but in the end, yeah, we are blessed to be together in the field where we're all going to the one destination and direction, and really getting into the true self with whatever it takes. And it
I
takes
just
a
realized the
lot.
title of the interview, Spreading the Knowledge. When you say it, it's like that's the title.
Yeah, yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you for your
Thank you,
Also,
thank you,
thank
thank
you.
you so much.
You
Have a
both
nice
are amazing, and I'm looking forward meeting you. I don't know when, I don't know how, but I believe it will happen someday.
Yeah. And thank you guys again for inviting us, and Michal for coming all the way to Sofia and supporting the event.
Oh, it was a pleasure. Really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Have a nice weekend.